Hello, everyone. My name is Luke Swanson, and today I will tell you all about peyote. So, what is peyote? Besides having a cool name, it's just a small and spineless cactus native to Mexico and southwestern Texas. The primary active ingredient of peyote is called mescaline. This is a hallucinogen that's very similar to LSD, and it facilitates the release of serotonin and dopamine in the brain. It is deemed a Schedule 1 drug by the DEA, so it's illegal and it has no commercial use whatsoever. It has been used by indigenous peoples in northern Mexico and the southwestern United States as a religious sacrament during their ceremonies, and this dates all the way back to 1000 BC. Common street names for the drug include Buttons, Big Chief, Mesk, Peyoto, and Blue Caps. It is primarily known for its hallucinogenic properties, which are known to cause feelings of intense euphoria and unity with all creation. Doesn't that sound nice? So, how is it taken? The crown or top of the peyote cactus is cut off into a disc-shaped button. You can see here in the bottom left, there's an assortment of peyote buttons that have been cut off from their roots. So these buttons are usually dried and chewed, or they can be soaked in water. Buttons can also be consumed fresh. These buttons that are soaked in water create an intoxicating liquid that can be drunk fresh or mixed to create a tea. Tea is actually the preferred consumption method for the Native American Church, which is the only religious organization that's allowed access to the peyote plant. It can also be ground into a powder and placed inside a gelatin capsule to be taken as a pill, or it can be smoked with tobacco or cannabis. So, how does it affect the body? Before affecting the mind, peyote consumption can cause intense nausea and vomiting, increased heart rate and blood pressure, dilated pupils, headaches, increased body temperature, weakness of the muscles, and impaired motor coordination. So these effects usually take place anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour after consumption. However, once we get through these bodily effects, that's when we get to get to the good part. How it affects the mind. Users feel that colors, sounds, and experiences just flat out feel richer. They feel that they lose all awareness of time. They can also experience intense hallucinations of shades, movements, and forms around them, while some even can claim that they can see sounds and hear colors. Joyful or terrifying visions are also common, and these depend on the state of mind the user has going into the experience. Users may also experience the sensation that the mind and the body are two separate entities that they have dual control over. Finally, they may have profound, almost religious experiences where users feel that they've essentially discovered the meaning of existence. So actually, this middle image here is an example of peyote art. It's made by the Huichol Indians of the Sierra Madre Mountains in Mexico. They would take peyote and create artwork while they're hallucinating. So it kind of gives you a good window into the mindset of someone who's currently under the influence of peyote. However, not all good things can come without their risks and consequences. Bodily effects of peyote use are the primary consequences, but these typically subside as the substance leaves the body. If you can, if you can recall, we talked about nausea, vomiting, high blood pressure, high temperature. All of these things are typical consequences of peyote use. There's also the possibility of a bad trip in which the user experiences terrifying thoughts, anxiety, and panic. This poses a major risk. Accidents and injuries are also a possibility, as hallucinations can distort the user's perceptions of their surroundings, so they may injure themselves or others. Finally, some other potential consequences include prolonged psychosis, which are continuous mental disturbances and paranoia. There's also something called hallucinogen persisting perception disorder. These are actually flashbacks of hallucinations that can interfere with a person's daily life. They can happen anytime, any day, and can even occur years after a single peyote experience. Finally, there is the potential to purchase inauthentic peyote or mescaline on the street with unknown toxicity. This can also be incredibly dangerous because you don't know exactly what you're putting into your body. So with that, this concludes our presentation. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you learned a little bit about peyote. Thank you.